Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 19th, and I would say we have our most serious episode of 119 so far. Good morning, Tom and Anthony.
Good morning.
Morning, host.
Boy, oh boy, last Friday, sometime in the day, the real estate industry got smacked upside its head, and now everyone is in turmoil. So we figured let's hop on and do a little bit of talking about it ourselves. So if you're in the real estate world, you obviously know there's been a NAR settlement proposal. I don't know. It's not official. We don't know what's going on. You can't believe everything or anything you read online because I feel like everything I've read online is just wrong. It's just wrong.
I'm not sure what to think. I mean, we do have some people talking for our company today, so we'll have to tune into that. But I've been hearing mixed reviews about what's happening, what's going on. Is it finally settled? Is it still going on? There's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. So let's get into it. Supposedly, the National Association of Realtors have settled that the 6% commission that has been pretty customary for the industry recently, not that it was ever the norm, I'd say it was customary normally, may be going away or changing. And it's a big difference for a lot of people, right? When I bought my first house, I looked at my real estate agent and I said, how much do I got to pay you? And you know what my real estate agent told me? The seller pays commission. Oh, beautiful. I'm happy. Buyer pays no commission. Great. Now they're saying that the buyers didn't know that they were doing this and the price and the sellers didn't know. Well, so let's get down to it. Okay, let's stop the media just making stuff up and let's explain to the people how this works. Okay, so Tom, you go to sell your house.
Yep.
All right, Anthony's your agent.
Need it out of it.
All right, Anthony's your real estate agent. He comes in and says, Tom, I'm going to sell your house. It's going to cost you 6% commission. You said, beautiful. No problemo. I'll pay 6%. Get my house sold. Appreciate it.
That's what it costs. That's what it costs, right?
What it costs. Anthony then says, I'm going to split this 6% commission however Anthony feels. He may give 50, he may give 50-50, 3% to the buyer side. He may give 2%. He may give 1%. He may give 0%. It's always been up to Anthony as the selling agent to split it with the buyer. The problem is Pennsylvania has all these disclosures that put it to the buyer, to the seller to explain it. 36 states, it sounds like, just flipped the coin and hoped everyone understood what was going on. And that's what the real problem is. So first it starts at 6%. Then it gets broken down to 3%. Then most realtors work for a broker. The broker's got to get paid too. In some cases, the broker may be taking half of that 3%. Then Joey B in the IRS comes in and he got to get his fingers on those dollars. And so that 1%, that 1.5% is even less. So the fact that there's all this talk out there, the buyers are going to be cheaper to buy a home, housing prices are going to drop. First off, people are greedy. If a seller can keep 3% for themselves and not lower their house price, guess what, everyone? That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, 100%. They're
not just going to lower the price because they're saving some commission.
No, it's going to be the same. I mean, if they could get that for their house, it's going to be the exact same. We see how many buyers are on the market, and it's simple supply and demand economics right now at this point.
So I don't understand how the news is saying it's going to be cheaper for buyers to buy a home, because as of right now, it's normal and customary for buyers to pay 0. Now, maybe they pay it in the price of their home. Sure. But no one's here to say, oh, commission's going to change. Now housing prices are just going to drop. I just don't frankly see that be the case.
No, I don't either. And I think it's going to be difficult for people that don't want to pay that commission to their buyer's agent on getting into a house, making sure everything is organized properly, as well as negotiated in the correct manner.
Again, this is just from what I'm reading and understanding. It's not stopping that the seller can't pay the buyer's commission. It's just that can no longer be listed anywhere. It can't be written anywhere. So now it sounds like that's going to have to be part of your offer or part of your negotiation with purchasing the home is how do you pay your real estate agent?
Yeah. And I mean, every offer you put in, sometimes it's multiple times a week. You got to have that conversation with the listing agent. You guys got to talk up front, know what's going on with the house, and not be afraid to talk about, hey, I want to get paid this. Here's how we're going to make our offer. This is how it needs to happen. There's going to be a lot more game planning involved with it. And I don't think that it's necessarily going to help some of the lower end buyers in this case, but there's still a lot of time to tell what is going to happen with that.
Anyone buying a home, going to court, anything like that without representation, I feel like is crazy. Real estate agents have an 18-page contract in Pennsylvania that they know and understand that it's there to protect the buyer. Now you want buyers to go in blind that's never done this before without any inspections, without anything like that to say that this is better for buyers. That I don't get. I really don't see how saying, oh, now you can not have representation or buyers are going to choose not to have representation. That's just going to cause way more problems.
Yeah. And sometimes those buyers even try to put it all on us and make us take on the form of a real estate agent. And that's not our job either. We only know certain things. We don't know every role that is involved with real estate. They're licensed in that. We're licensed in the home financing game. So we really don't know everything. So if you're going to go on a whim and not pay a real estate agent and try to do it yourself and try to just get pushed along by somebody else in the process, yeah, we could help, but we're not giving you information or tips on, how you should be talking to that seller.
No, because that's going to be a huge liability for us because we're not a real estate agent. That's why you need to work with a real estate agent. Now, there's only one of us on the screen that were in the business in 2010. We know that. Anthony.
Does he have a microphone today, though? It's being muted all match.
2010, Anth, the Dodd-Frank Act came in place for the mortgage world, right? And it made everyone crazy on our side. And it made loan officers sound like the worst people in the world. But we're still here. We got through the change. I know everyone in the real estate world is kind of freaking out right now. But, as the elder statesman here, why don't you give us a little walkthrough of how it went in 2010, maybe calm some minds.
Yeah, I mean, they came in and was like a hurricane on commission, on how we get paid. So some for the good, some not so good, but we got through it. But I think, if this change does fully go into effect, I think us as loan officers and agents, we're going to have to better strategize with the clients on how to structure their transaction, especially if they have to pay a portion of that commission, because we're going to have to verify, those additional assets, et cetera, to make sure the program is going to be the right program based on the commission being paid to the agent, et cetera. So I think strategizing with your team that you're choosing.
And hopefully, NAR can do the settlement themselves and the DOJ doesn't get involved because frankly, when lawmakers get involved with things they know nothing about, it's not a good thing. They will overregulate, not understand the industry, and probably mess things up. So hopefully the realtors can negotiate and settle this themselves so we can move on and continue to get homes sold.
And I have a question for you. Back in 2009, were loan officers allowed to negotiate their commission, or was it set back then, or how did that work?
So, I mean, essentially how loan officers got paid then was was multiple ways. It was based on obviously the interest rate plus, if there was an upfront fee, et cetera. And they basically got paid on the whole thing. Now it has to be customary, flat across the board, so that one client's not paying more than the other for the same program, which is good. That creates equal housing. So that's definitely a positive thing. But a lot of the programs that were available back then were great programs. They just may have been sold to, they shouldn't have been sold to everybody. They were for specifics, which would be very helpful for, say, self-employed today. So a lot of things that changed back then could still be good today when it comes to programs. Ultimately, the rates, the biggest thing was the equal housing. You can't charge somebody one amount and then another person something totally different. So,
Yep.
Yeah, we might see something go into effect on our end on that too.
Yeah, so it's an ever-changing world. If you're going to buy a home, sell a home in 2024, if you have questions, please just don't go on the news and listen to what they're saying, because they're trying to sensationalize everything. They're trying to get the clickbait. We know tons of realtors locally. We're trying to stay up on the news. We can try to get you everything as much as we know it, but keep tuning
Tuesdays
in.
and Fridays, 8 a.m. Tune in for the local news.
We will do the best we can, but everyone have a great week. That's all we have for today. Happy March Madness, everyone.
March Madness. Duquesne for the Dubs.
Bye.